There were days when I stepped into my work with the intention of being productive, fast, and efficient. But just a few hours later, I found myself drowning in an invisible whirlpool. I stared at my screen while my mind drifted elsewhere. My body felt heavy, my thoughts were cloudy, and my emotions sank for no clear reason. I wondered why I kept burning out even though I tried so hard. And while I was still searching for answers, I noticed something remarkable about the Japanese. Despite the enormous pressure in their work culture, they remained calm, focused, and steady. That was when I realized the issue wasn't how much I worked, it was how I worked. I once believed that productivity required pushing myself to the limit. But the more I tried, the more I drifted away from true efficiency. Then I discovered that the Japanese didn't thrive because of extraordinary willpower. They thrived because of how they approached work. They didn't sprint through tasks just to collapse later. They maintained a stable, gentle, and sustainable rhythm. And I began to understand that my problem wasn't a lack of ability, but a lack of rhythm. My body wasn't built for the way I was forcing it to work. Once that clicked, I realized I didn't need to work more to feel valuable. I didn't need to run faster to feel capable. I simply needed to work in a way that my body could sustain. The Japanese don't insist on being strong all the time. They allow themselves to pause, slow down, and hold space for silence. That respect for their inner rhythm is what gives them long-lasting strength. I had to ask myself, did I want to be someone who burned bright and collapsed, or someone who moved steadily? When I applied Japanese work principles to my life, I realized their productivity didn't come from extreme effort, but from small, steady disciplines woven into each day. These principles were subtle, but they created a level of stability and mental clarity I had never experienced before. I began with Hitori Koto, the practice of doing one task at a time with complete presence. I used to believe multitasking would make me faster, but it only scattered my energy into fragments. When I focused on one task in a defined block of time, my mind became less chaotic, my emotions steadier, and surprisingly, I finished faster without feeling drained. Then I embraced Kaizen, not big changes, not giant leaps, but small improvements every single day. I set tiny, clear goals. Some days, it was as simple as cleaning my desk. Other days, it meant adjusting my schedule or shortening my email time. These changes were small, but they prevented overwhelm and helped me build momentum without burning out. Nemawashi came next, the Japanese art of preparation. Instead of jumping straight into work, I learned to pause, gather my thoughts, tidy my space, and mentally walk through the steps ahead. Just a few minutes of preparation made my workflow smoother and more grounded. I also adopted the principle of intentional space. The Japanese see pauses not as interruptions, but as part of the rhythm. I began inserting tiny pockets of rest throughout my day. A short walk, a deep breath, a warm cup of tea. These moments felt insignificant at first, but they quietly kept me from crossing the line into exhaustion. I learned to respect my workspace too. The Japanese keep their environment simple, not for aesthetics, but for clarity. When I decluttered my desk each morning, my thoughts became clearer. My mind stopped jumping between distractions, and everything felt more manageable. And then there was Ganbaru, the principle that transformed my relationship with productivity the most. Contrary to the common misunderstanding, Ganbaru is not about pushing until collapse. It is about persevering at the right level. The Japanese don't burn themselves out in one intense burst. They work steadily. They know their limits and honor them. They stop when their bodies ask and return fully when they are ready. When I practiced Ganbaru in its true form, I realized I didn't need to be strong constantly. I needed to be sustainable. This mindset allowed me to work with energy instead of against it. As these principles blended into my routine, I stopped fighting work. My energy no longer spiked and crashed. Productivity stopped feeling like a burden and became a calm, steady flow. I worked less, but produced more. I rested more, but felt more effective. Most importantly, I no longer woke up fearing the day. I walked into each morning with a sense of calm I never thought I could have. Looking back, I realized I had made many mistakes. I worked non-stop without rest, believing it would make me faster. I let distractions pull me in every direction, leaving me scattered and frustrated. I allowed work to invade every quiet moment of my life, leaving no space for recovery. Worst of all, I ignored my body's signals until exhaustion became normal. These mistakes didn't mean I was weak, they meant I was working in the wrong rhythm. If you feel drained or overwhelmed, it doesn't mean you're incapable. It means you've been pushing in a rhythm that isn't yours. Your body isn't breaking down, it's calling you back. You can work efficiently without burning out. You can succeed without destroying your energy. And all it takes is one gentle change at a time. A pause, a breath, a small improvement, a moment of presence. Your body will thank you the moment you let it. You are not someone destined to burn out. You are someone learning to work in a deeper, wiser, more sustainable rhythm. Each Japanese principle you adopt, even the smallest one, is shaping you into a steadier, clearer, and more grounded version of yourself. If this message resonates with you, I hope you continue this journey with me. Please like the video, subscribe to the channel, and join me in exploring more lessons from the Japanese way of living, where productivity and peace don't compete, but coexist.